recap from last lesson, looking at sequences. Okay, do we remember? Here's a sequence. Okay, so they've given us this sequence. First of all, what do we call the sequence? If I said to you, I want you to find a description for this, what do we normally call that? Good girl, the nth term. So that if I'm trying to find the nth term, what that means is I'm trying to find a rule that explains what's happening here, or enables us to generate each of these numbers. Okay? So, how do we do that? Maya, do you remember what's our first step to find the nth term? We've been given a Good girl, the difference. So remember, the difference means the gap in between each. And so what's happening between each of these numbers? We're adding 4 each time. Yes? All happy with that? So if we're adding 4 each time, what does that mean for our rule? For CK, you're either exercising or thinking sure.
4 and plus the number that's
Awesome. So I'm just going for the start. Perfect. So we're going to start our rule with 4n. Okay? Kaya, why do you think she said 4n?
because it's plus 4 and that's the end.
Good. Okay, so the sequence is all about n, and the difference was 4. Perfect. And then Kasika was also trying to tell us about the other bit, n squared. What's the other bit we're going to write? So we know it's not just 4n, because this just means 4 multiplied by n. Yeah?
Okay, so instead of plus 4, you go backwards, and you do minus 4, and that is 3.
And is that positive or negative?
It's positive, so it'll be 4n plus 3.
Good.
And then that would be it.
Why do you have to do
Wait, where's the n from, Miss Harrison?
So our rule is always to do with n. Okay, what we call, what the reason we use n is because n stands for the number of the term. Okay, so actually, when the lesson you missed as well, what we did was, if we gave you a rule, for example, let's go for a different rule, 2n minus 5. Okay, so if I'm going to start off with the rule 2n minus 5, and I wanted to know which numbers are in this sequence. Okay. It's going back to substitution. Do you remember when we used to substitute stuff? So our first term in our sequence, the value of n would be 1, because it's the first term. Okay? So what we do is we substitute the value of 1 in place of this n. So that means we're doing 2 multiplied by 1, and then taking away 5. So we're following this rule. Do you follow that? And Abby, I'm talking to you two mainly because you weren't here. Yes? So, what's 2 lots of 1? 2. Take away 5. So our first term in this sequence would be negative 3. How do you think we find the fourth sequence? Fourth term. I'm aiming this at Kaya and Abby. So Kaya, how do you think we could find the fourth term if this was the first term? Abby thinks she knows. Abby, what do you think you do?
Just the 4 and 2 to 4.
Good. Exactly right. So the fourth term, Kaya, we would say that n was 4. So the third term was when n was 3. Okay? Now remember, it's when the n value is that number, it's not 3 is not the term number. No, 3 is not the answer to it. So the fourth term, we would now work out 2 lots of 4, take away 5. So 2 lots of 4 is, take away 5 is 3. So the first term was negative 3, the fourth term was 3. We can find any term by substituting into this rule, yes? So that's if we're given the rule and asked to generate the sequence. A lot of the time we're given the sequence and asked to generate the rule, okay? So if we've started at the number 7, we need to somehow, with a value of n being 1, end up with the number 7. And we do that by finding the difference and then deciding what number we would add or subtract to this. Because if we just thought it was 4n, then 4 lots of 1 is 4. Well, that's not 7. If n was 2, 4 lots of 2 is 8. That's not 11. Okay? So what we have to do is do something else to this number. And we will probably be adding or subtracting sometimes a value from that. And we decide what we're adding or subtracting by saying what would the term before it be.
I'm lost in that part.
Which bit? Finding the other numbers.
Once you have the answer, find the answer.
Okay, so what we do is, once we establish it's for n, we say, what would the number have been before this one? And so if our sequence was adding 4 each time, to find out what it would have been, is we're going to take away 4.
Okay, what were you just talking about? Like when you were saying 4 and something equal 11?
Oh, because if we thought the rule was just for n, then that doesn't give us the numbers that we're looking for. We need to get the numbers 7, 11, 15, 19. So we need to find a way of getting those numbers.
Wait, why is n 4?
N would be 1 here because it's the first term. So n has to be 1 for this term. Kaya?
Wait, so basically you just have to do the rule until you get the rule you started with.
Yes. So this rule has to help us find any of these. So we can check it by using this one. So what's the value of the n for this one? 1, 2, 3, 4. So n would be 4 here, yes?
Why didn't you count the 3?
Because
Because this was our working step to help us find it. Our sequence started at the number 7. Now, okay, I'm actually going to change my plan. What we'll do is, we didn't get loads of practice with this last lesson, did we? I did mostly talking and we didn't practice it. So actually, put these worksheets away.